Hello and welcome to Alchemist Swim. I am Alchemist Jen. Welcome to today. Thanks for joining me. Today's whim of the day is to talk about the progress on my floor pillow. So I am sitting filming on the floor and I have this desire to make this pillow for myself. So I have worked on my inside portion of it. So you can see my fancy stitching with my zigzag sewing machine. It is erratic. It is exciting. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It just changes all the time. So I like that about it. I like moody stitching, and it's awesome. I love it. So you may be a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist, but I like the randomness of moody stitching. All right, so this is the inside part. So what I did was I sewed around the inside and then flipped it out and then did an extra stitch. So you can see right there that I sewed on the inside and then flipped it out. And then I have this pocket that's ready for stuffing, right? So that is the inside of the lovely pillow that's going to be amazing. Now this is big. It's a big pillow. So it's what I think after all the folding and stitching and things, like 50 inches by 50 inches. So very, very cool, very fun. It's going to be a blast to sit on, I can tell already. And I was really tempted to bring out some of the furniture foam and, you know, I go to town and stuff in this thing, but there are days when you are mentally ready to make a mess, and there are days when you're mentally not ready to make a mess. So today is one of those that I'm not ready to make a mess. I want to commit to this and be like so in it and ready to do that, because now this it's a box. It's a pretty big box. So it's probably, I mean, it's a big box. And it's full with pressurized furniture foam. So all the air has been squeezed out of it. So when I open that baby up, it is going to go everywhere. So I really just want to be 100% ready. I'm sure I'm ready for it. So I know it's in a bag and inside of this box, so I can keep it contained, but it's still there's still some element of the air going to be moving around. So it's the kind of thing where I personally feel like I need to pre-clean before I do it. Like I want to make sure my floor is clean so that if I have to sweep up any of it, it doesn't have any, like, you know, I have a cat, right? So cat fur in it. It will be randomly, because, you know, cat fur moves around the corners of your room, underneath your chairs, whatever, because it's really light and fluffy. Thank you for listening to my ramble about doing things that are messy, and how I propose to keep them less messy equals more cleaning. So I like to clean before I make a mess, and then clean during my mess making, and clean after my mess making. And if I can limit the amount of pre-mess involved in my after mess of my creating, yes, this is a thing. Thank you. I'm laughing at myself as I'm explaining this process, and I'm like, this is so a thing that I do. It's wonderful. All right, so that is the inside of the pillow. And then the outside, so what I ran into, and this is heavy just by itself. I haven't added anything to it. It's amazing. So if I just look at, I should have weighed this, but now I'm curious. If I just weigh just the outside portions of the pillow, now the other part's furniture foam, but still it's going to have some heft to it. It's going to be pretty amazing. I'm excited. So the outside, what I did was I did create a nice little sleeve. You'll see that there's still clips on there, because when I went to try to go sew through the velvet, I found that it was too thick for my machine, which is totally cool. I wasn't too surprised. I tried it twice. I broke one needle. The next time it just wasn't going through, and then thread kept breaking. So I'm like, you know, I'll take that as a sign. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to fight with it, because it's going to do what it wants to do. So I just sewed on the edge of the part that I knew I could get through. So that is this fabric. And then basically I did the same thing essentially. with sewing on the inside. So like these are sewn together, and I use the selvage edge so that at least it's it was thinner to sew through on the edge of this. And then the plan from here is just to do some hand sewing. So I think what I'll do, ran out of breath, I'm sorry, didn't mean to yawn at you. I think what I'll do at this vantage point is I will leave this edge because I think it's fantastic just sewn like that. And then I'm going to get some cotton thread, probably cotton crochet thread, and a really just sharp, long embroidery needle, and just kind of do the sewing that way. And then I, honestly, completely honestly, I've never gotten a thimble. So I'm going to look into some options there too. I think I'm going to need it to have help pushing through the fabrics, and I've never done it. I've just suffered through it, or I've taken other pieces of fabric and then just kind of made my own thing. So I'm kind of excited to do some, to get a thimble and to hand sew this. So then I will just be going kind of in between. I mean, it's already got ridges there, so I can kind of make bigger stitches, and I think that's going to be really cool. And then I'll just kind of do continuous loops. There's probably a name for what that stitch is, but maybe it's like it's sort of like a running stitch, I think, but it's something a little bit different. And so it's going to be really reinforced because I'm going over each section a couple times, but it'll I think it'll be really strong. And then I'll do the same thing on this edge here too. So just running along it, I think it'll add an interesting detail to it. And then the other thing that I was very, very cautious of and aware of was that I sewed this part first, so I knew what the outside size was before I sewed the inside sizes. So I knew that I was going to be folding that over, but even when I hadn't already folded it over, it was still within the parameters of the shape that I was going for. So I was excited that I was on the right track. Sometimes things just kind of line up that way. So they were lining up for me, and I'm thankful. So that's what's up with the floor pillow. I've made some significant progress and then found some obstacles to yet overcome. And then I will stuff this baby when it's the right day to stuff this baby. I'm okay with sitting on my blanket for a little bit more time. I'm picking fuzzies off of it because like once you sew things, then there ends up being pieces of fabric on things. Fabric and like in the edges of fabric, there's like little pieces that kind of come off. So it's like it's molting. So yeah, so really good progress there. I will have to go to get thread. Maybe I'll come up, maybe I'll get like a rainbow one or something. I don't know. It would be really cool to have something with some variation on the outside, just because I have so much color and everything else. So I'm kind of encouraged to look for something a little bit more creative to run with it. So yay for floor pillow. I made some amazing and excellent, that's what I was going for, but I tried to put them together, progress on this, and I'm happy with it. I just wanted to share what I got to and where I was. And then I think for tomorrow, it's probably not going to be a stuffing day. I don't know, and maybe another couple days. I will let you know when that is. We will do that together because I think it's going to be like a big messy thing, and I figure I should catch that on camera. It'll probably take me, at least that long video length to fill this up, and then to awkwardly do that. I think that sounds great. I also have to decide how full I want it because it will dictate how thick it is, but then also how manageable it is too. So I'm thinking that this is going to be one that's big enough that I can fold it over as well. So we'll see what happens. It is pillow time, but we're pausing on it for a moment to come back at it. I'd like to, I also kind of want to wait for the stuffing part because I want to put it all together. So I'll probably wait till after I finish the stitching on the outside. To be completely honest, my process is like that. So if I come to a part where I have to pause, I usually end up pausing so it all comes together, because that's going to be so satisfying to put the pillow all together. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. It's fabulous seeing you, and we'll see where the whim takes us tomorrow. Thanks.